Welcome in, Kuma crew. It is once again your favourite friendly despair bear Annakuma, and I'm here with another first impressions thanks to our friends at Lemon Chili Games and Keymailer. Today we're talking about Super Farming Boy, a new unique farming game which released on the 12th of August. I'm actually quite impressed with this as well. I played just over an hour, which is the typical amount I tend to play for first impressions unless I get really into it, and as far as farming games go, this one does give you something unique to enjoy. It doesn't rehash the same old things, but at the same time, compared to something like Stardew Valley, which is a farming sim, a life sim, a dating sim, and so much more, it really is just focused on the farming. Kinda. Right from the start, you can see what you are in for. The intro screen for the game is big, bright, and inviting. It has some quirky music playing. You see your main protagonist running around the screen with a bunch of seeds chasing him, and yeah, who couldn't love this? When you get into the game, you get woken up by your sentient house, I guess. Your mum is this floating star, and as you won't get up, the house sucks you out and it's time for the tutorial. As far as tutorials go, Super Farming Boy is pretty handy. It makes everything very easy to follow, but it also never really goes away. I'll explain more on that in a minute. It'll have you go around learning how to harvest crops and water them, all the good things you would expect from this kind of game. Just then, you learn that in this game, crops have combo mechanics. Yes, each crop has a different effect when it's pulled out. This effect is basically to harvest a crop in a certain pattern to it. Corn goes directly to the right, tomatoes go up and down, and carrots, I believe, went to the left. This already starts you thinking of how you'll actually plant your crops in the future. But we start with full fields, so why would we plant anything else? That's where the story comes in. As you end the tutorial, a giant tornado called Corpo shows up, and yes, this game is about corporate greed. If there is one villain the majority of the world can agree on, it is our capitalist overlords. And seeing how Super here is making loads of money, Corpo comes in and just claims the land for his own. All the crops we make has to go to him every night, and he takes all of our existing crops with him. Oh, and all of our superpowers, which we then have to buy back from him. Oh yeah, and our friends, who we again have to buy back. He also eats our mother, who we also have to buy back. Yeah, that happens. One thing with Super Farming Boy is that the numbers are always very high. They will always stay high because it is part of the story. Corporate greed, making money, taking the fun out of everything, that kind of thing. Your first visit to Corpo's store, which you get to look at every night after he steals your stuff, will show you that to gain back all that Corpo stole, you are gonna need a lot of money. It really isn't that much. You start off with some corn seeds floating around the farm still. If you are smart and paid attention to the combo tutorial, you'll put them all together. I wasn't, so I planted them anywhere. At first, you can't actually water them, but you get an active to-do list that will update as you complete it, that gets you picking up shells and stones around the place, which when you end the day, Corporal will still buy off of you, giving you the money for the watering can, quite fast. From here, it actually gets kind of simple. Much like any farming sim, sticking a block of 4 seeds will make a larger crop. These crops need to take damage first, so you need to make sure that your crops are lined up to combo into them. Creating fun little combos in the garden is the unique part of this game that I really enjoyed. I messed up this batch a few times with where I placed a 2x2 giant corn, and then by forgetting nothing would interact with the middle tomatoes, but I started something up here I have great hopes for. The crops actually grow pretty fast, though some might have other circumstances like only growing in the dark or indeed in the light itself, but in no time you'll be picking up crops super fast. In the hour and a bit that I played, I'd unlocked most of what I could. What was left was basically just upgrading things I already had. That isn't to say there won't be more after I unlock it all, there could be, but it doesn't feel like the game is going to stop you getting into the very repetitive gameplay loop for long. So you'll have the money to buy everything you need to get into that gameplay loop very easily. Again, the numbers do look huge when you start, but when you start pulling off the combos and harvesting those veggies, you'll be making bank in no time. The combos also play into a fever meter. Again, like most games that have combos, it'll put you in a state of fever, but all the plants around you will keep sprouting, giving you a chance once or twice a day to just stand in a good part of the farm and keep pulling out your combos. Plus, you start in spring, which is notorious for spring showers, and yes, again, that will help you grab a lot of veggies in a short period of time, because you have a stamina bar, and if you don't have to water the crops, then it means you're saving and you can pull more. I genuinely only really had corn on my farm, and I was pulling in so much money at the end of the day, I didn't know what to do with myself. So it is a good thing that there is a town, right? Okay, so there isn't much of a town, but you can talk to some people wandering around, visit the lake that helps regenerate your stamina. It's not a lake, it's a pond, but still. And there are 2 shops you can go to. On the right is the plant store, where you'll be able to buy seeds during the day, and on the left is a food stand, where you can buy food to replenish your energy. The food will show on the bottom left of the screen, and when you run out of energy, you just automatically eat it. You do get 2 other buildings, one for quests and one called Lackluster, that you can unlock. I have to admit, I semi-forgot about these, so never unlocked them, but as this is a first impressions video, I don't feel like they were really needed. I do plan on playing this on stream, so I'll get to see what they do when I get to them on stream. Plus, the food truck is a dinosaur. Who doesn't love a dinosaur? Look at this dinosaur! And yes, Lackluster is a play on Blockbuster. Look at it. Funnily enough, Super Farming Boy is all about doing things fast. You don't have an inventory you need to mess with, you don't have to change tools, and you don't even need to pick every single one of your crops. It is about being efficient and spending the least amount of time doing anything, and I like it. This is something you can see in just your speed up mechanic. Do we run? Do we roll? No, we fly, which means you not only are going faster, but you can fly over the rocks and stumps that get in your way. It isn't just about making things faster, it is about making things simpler. You don't have to stop flying to leave the screen, you can just fly off of it. It is genuinely a mechanic to make you go fast. Again, I said you don't need to change equipment. There is no inventory. Instead, standing in front of any resource and pressing the correct button will turn Super's arm into the tool he needs, and you just automatically use it. Whether it is a hoe to remove crops or make new plots for the crops, or a hammer to destroy bigger rocks. Heck, it even turns into the watering can. You don't have to refill the watering can, it just happens naturally. Super Farming Boy cuts all the menus and management from the game and just lets you run around doing things as fast and efficient as you can. Hell, even the crops are alive. When you buy them from the store, they'll follow you around. You can even find them just out in the wild hanging out. You don't need to put them in your inventory and then select them. You just have them follow you to where you want them. This does make things a little clunky and long-winded. They don't necessarily sit with you, so there is some back and forth to plant them, but it is still a few clicks less than in other games. Plus, it's cute. Look at these cute little corn seeds. I guess a negative to some farming sim fans would be that the focus on fast gameplay takes away from the life sim part of it. This is a game. It has people and the life cycle of any other game, but it doesn't have the role-playing or life sim part of the game. It doesn't make you live the day properly because it is focused on the gameplay over the life part. You're not going to be making friends from what I can see. Your friends are the items you buy back from Corpo at the end of the day, and even they are snails and water cans that look like dogs. Everyone else has the same dialogue anytime you talk to them. There's no variety in what they say. There are going to be quests and stuff which I'll have to look into on stream. But overall, the whole point of the game is to make combos in the garden with all of the plants. That's it. That's what they want you to do. There is nothing else to the game. The gameplay loop is very small, and when you get into it, it's very addicting. But there's no role-playing in the game. Farming games are usually games that you sit back and relax with, And whilst this game is relaxing and you do sit back and enjoy it, that enjoyment comes from finding the right combo to get a whole block of your garden harvested with one tug of a corn piece. Heck, the combos don't just hurt the big crops, making them harvestable, they hit anything that's around the square they're in, meaning that you can clean up the entire garden with just a placement of crops if you were smart enough. Now, I said the tutorial never goes away, and that is because the game never shies away from telling you how to use anything that it gives you. After unlocking any piece of equipment, you will get asked to use it with a box at the bottom of the screen telling you how that will not disappear until you do it. The cards you buy to unlock them in the first place will tell you how to use them. Even when harvesting a plant for the first time, it will always stop and tell you what the combo on them looks like. Personally, I can take or leave this kind of tutorializing. It did ruin a few minutes where I wanted to see what my new combo looked like, but it had stopped me to tell me what an eggplant does when I already had an eggplant that I'd harvested a couple times before. But overall, it isn't in the way, and if you unlock something, you are bound to be using it the moment you wake up anyway. Also, I guess a quick shout out to the fact they actually have an encyclopedia that you can get to through the pause menu that will keep track of the different seeds and their combos, the different foods you pick up, and all sorts of other things. It is a nice little touch, but also just cute as heck. I love the art style of this game so much, and having a little book to look through is really sweet. It also shows you there's a hell of a lot of stuff you'll be buying in this game. There's lots of foodstuffs that you can get, and there's loads of seeds and fruits and vegetables to harvest. So it's gonna be a big game. I genuinely really enjoyed my time in the game so far. As I said, it keeps you busy, but everything it asks you to do is super simple. It's made to be fast-paced, but peaceful. It has this big, bright, colourful art style where everything is big and chunky. All the characters look friendly, and it cycles between daytime, evening with this shaded look, and then nighttime where these enemies will float around, and if you touch them, you pass out. It looks like it'll be a simple game to spend a few hours in when you have nothing to do, something to turn your brain off and just relax whilst trying out new exciting combos with the veggies. As there are only 15 days in the season, the crops will cycle around pretty fast. Again, I played just over an hour and didn't get to summer, but I was pretty close to it, so it might not take much longer than an hour and a half to get an entire season over and done with. So, to end the video, what are my first impressions exactly? Super Farming Boy is delightful. It is cute and childish without actually being a childish game. You'll be kept busy and have fun planning out your garden in a way you might never have thought about in a farming game. Personally, I feel this game will be good for both farming sim fans and just fans of faster paced games as well. I love the story of it, and the characters so far seem really silly, in the good way. I'll for sure be playing it on stream just as soon as I get a few other things off the table first, but I'm going to enjoy playing it off stream as well. I can highly recommend giving it a go, and the link to the store page will be in the description as always. So thank you once again Lemon Chili for the key. If you would like to continue to support this bear here though, and everything I do, then please like the video, comment below on what veggie you want to be, and subscribe. I also now have a Patreon, and if I get my butt in gear, this will be the first video that mentions it, and probably the last for a little while as well. I have a bunch of videos coming out that I made prior to sorting the Patreon out, so I'm not going to mention it very often until I get to a new batch of videos. If you'd like to support me through Patreon, the link to the Patreon will be in the description below from now on as well, so check it out. It sucks, I'm still working on it, give me time. Of course, there is always my Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Annakuma, where I play video games 5 days a week and have a blast. Till next time though, Bear Cubs, thank you for watching, and bye bye.